Hey, it's Mark Linney with your video thought for the day. We have been working through Paul's fruit of the Spirit. These are traits that God, through His Spirit, wants to grow in us as we grow to be more like Him. And today I want to look at that fruit that's generally translated goodness, agathosune in the Greek. It's a great Greek word. So let's do three things real quick. Let's look at the Greek word. Let's talk about what it means in terms of our lives, and let's give an illustration. So first, the Greek word agathosune. Agathos is the root behind that word, and it's a word that means something more than just good in behavior. It's a word that reflects also beauty. It's a word that reflects something that's a high ideal or a high standard. It's also a word that's an active word. So think of it as moral excellence and virtue. Think of it even as a generosity of spirit. This isn't a goodness that's simply avoiding evil, but this is actively pursuing what's beautiful and good and beneficial for other people. It's a goodness that springs from a heart that's aligned with God in His very nature, which brings me to my second point. This is a goodness that is an active benevolence that we see in the life of Jesus Himself. When Peter is talking to Cornelius in Acts chapter 10, around verse 38 or so, he talks about how God anointed Jesus of Nazareth with the Holy Spirit and power. And it says he went around doing good. Agathos. He was doing good. And that means he goes on to say, healing everyone who was under the power of the devil. And, Jesus's goodness wasn't simply a moral virtue. It was actively seeking to bring good to others. It was an active benevolence, which brings me to my final and third point, and this is one of illustration. Think of goodness as a light in the darkness. In Matthew 5:16, Jesus says, in the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. This is this principle of good deeds being a metaphor of a light in the darkness. We live in a world that is craving goodness. We live in a world where it's too easy to walk in darkness, where it's too easy to not only applaud darkness, but to actually participate in it. And we don't want to be that way. We want to be that light that shines in the darkness. We want to pursue not simply moral excellence. We want to pursue an active desire to be good for other people, to help other people, an active benevolence. As we cultivate this fruit of goodness in our lives, we need to challenge ourselves to perform maybe just one intentional act of goodness each day. And by actual deed of goodness, I mean where we affirmatively, not for credit, not for glory, but to shine God's love and His light, where we seek each day to do a deliberate act that affirmatively shows the beauty of God's goodness to others. Think about how you might do that. It's the reason that I made this your video thought for today.